I just wanted to make a quick video about the strategy that you're going to be focused on in your classroom through the end of this calendar year. So, from now until through December. So, it's the 5 to 1 PBIS Acknowledging Positive Behaviors, and this helps create community and set expectations for the students in your room. Go. So, setting expectations, we want to repeat, repeat, repeat. The idea that students know how to enter a classroom and engage in expected behavior needs to be let go of. Students need to be told repeatedly what the expectation is when entering every room and activity. Everyone has a different way of starting class each day, as I'm sure you've all recognized, and you cannot expect students to recognize and adapt multiple times per day or per week at the elementary level because there are specials, so they're moving throughout different classrooms at that grade level, those grade levels as well. Adults, we struggle with any deviation in our day. If we have to go pick up coffee because we ran out or stop at the fuel station to get gas, it's just a sense of frustration. And yet, students are expected to enter multiple settings with multiple supervisors all week long and simply adjust because at one point we told them what our behavior expectations were. Our expectations need to be constantly repeated, and we want to give specific positive feedback. So that's a really important point is we want to give specific feedback. If the positive feedback is specific, we will organically repeat the expectation of the desired behavior. Good job is really vague and doesn't offer real information about what someone is successful at. Thank you for coming in and turning in your homework. Well, thank you for getting out your note taker to get started or to start off or to get going off of what we left off of on yesterday. Those things are more specific and they offer exact feedback to the student who's engaged in the behavior. And then it also serves as a reminder to all the other students in the room what the expected and desired behavior is. SOPs are standard operating procedures. This is a great place to have those in place. You can create SOPs about how to come into the classroom. Some people have some kind of starter work that might be on a desk. Other people want the homework to be turned in. Get out your Chromebook, log into Google Classroom, get out your math book, depending on where you're at. Put all of your things down to get ready for PE. If you're, depending on what you're teaching, that entry point, just those examples could be different for a lot of places. So that's a really great one. Transitions is a really big one. I know in elementary school that's challenging. And with the blocks being so long in secondary, I'm assuming you guys are engaged in a lot of transitions as well. So how do you get the students to organized without losing a lot of time, transition from one activity to another? So those would be really good opportunities for SOPs. And then you have the explicit positive feedback that you can give them because you can, look at the SOP that's on your wall and say, oh, I appreciate so much that you came in quietly and turned in your homework, for example. When do we want to do this? As frequently as possible. If you think that for every one corrective statement, you're going to make 5 positive statements, it provides a lot of opportunity for giving positive feedback to everyone. Um, One of the things that's really good about this is it does give praise to at-risk students even more frequently. So if someone is, consistently engaged in more negative behaviors or undesired behaviors, the fact that you're going to be saying 5 positive things, just them getting out their pencil is an opportunity for you to say like, oh, thank you so much for getting your materials out. They have done a lot of research on this, that it is one of the most effective tools for managing, promoting, and correcting undesired behaviors. So I feel like just that alone is a reason to engage in the 5 to 1 feedback space. This is the walkthrough document that I'll be using. That way you're aware of what it looks like. Put your name on it, my name, what's taking place in the classroom when I'm there, when I come in and when I leave. These will be 5 to like at max 15 minutes. And then I'm just going to tally the positive and the corrective. I don't like negative as much, but positive and corrective student contacts that you make. They'll be fast. I will say it's really hard to change this way of interacting in your room. It's a really simple thing that's surprisingly hard to do. In general, in our lives, it's much easier to say what we don't want to see. That's because we have the expectation of people adhering to our societal norms. We don't drive around every day appreciating people following traffic laws, but as soon as someone violates one near us, our language gets pretty colorful. We have a tendency to be really angry. So while it's tempting to assume that students know what they are doing, we have to get out of our own way with that school of thought. Students have more trauma in their background than ever before. Exposure to very, very adult issues at home are more common than they've ever been. And of course, all of the normal things that would be anxiety driving about being a kid, whether or not somebody's my friend, if I have like a crush on someone with older students, fear of failing. that can go from kindergarten all the way through senior year and beyond, as we all know. Daydreaming, because we just zone out. Being hungry, being tired, all of those things are still very present, but now we have more students than ever who are students in transition that may not have someplace secure to live, that have food scarcity, there's substance abuse problems in families more prevalent. So there's just a lot on their plates. And so thinking that with all of that going on in their very young, not completely developed minds, they're going to remember every protocol for every room. Repeat, repeat, repeat what we want to see from them. And when you make it the statement in a positive manner, you are constantly redirecting the students around them to engage in that behavior as well. This last thing is just a couple of resources. These are videos with teachers enacting this. These two are both from San Bernardino County Unified School District. They must have done a series of something, but I wanted to try and find all grade levels. So I found a high school, a middle school, and an elementary. And these are just a couple of articles. I gave you some information here. I don't want anything to be too big because it just is one more thing. But these couple of articles have some really good information in them and might just have a line that resonates with you and helps make the connection more for your classroom. Have a wonderful Friday and an amazing Thanksgiving break. Eat all of the turkey and get all of the rest. And I can't wait to see everyone's classrooms and come through between now and the end of the year to do these observations and just see all the awesome work that you're doing. Hope that you're having a great end of going into break part of the school year.